Hey everyone, welcome into this week's episode of the RunWage YouTube channel. My name is Dan Hafner. I'm the CEO and founder here at RunWage. And this week, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about what to do when your cardio atrophies. Kind of why this happens, how it happens, and what to do about it. And the reason I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about this week was because this has happened to me recently. I got involved in a different type of training. Started doing a lot more HIIT workouts, biking, just different physical activities, and I realized that my cardio, specifically my running time, atrophied. I went for a run the other day and ran a mile in about a minute and a half less of a pace than I used to. And I think this happens to a lot of us. We take some time off, whether you're a regular runner or not, and you realize that your cardio, your capacity as a runner is not what it used to be, and it's frustrating. And you feel like you built you did all this work, and now all of a sudden it's gone. And this is the concept, and I talk about it in my podcast as well here recently. What to do when this atrophy happens in life. And the one thing specifically in terms of running you have to keep in mind is your VO2, and it's basically the maximum amount of capacity you have to keep oxygen in your body, right? This is important, and specifically in running, because it determines your cardio capacity. It determines how long you can run, how far you can run, and the power that you can generate in your body and through your body while you run, right? So there was actually, I found a research paper on this, which was really, really interesting. And there was a guy by the name of Edward Coyle at the University of Texas that did a lot of research on this and tried to determine the physiology and the impact on a runner's body with atrophying in running, like taking time off, right? And basically what he found was there was a threshold of about 12 days where your VO2, your capacity, will actually drop by about 7%, and it keeps going down up to about 21 days and goes down to about like a 14% drop in VO2 capacity, which is crazy. It's like a bell curve, right? So you take a day off, you take 2 days off, 3 days off, it might not be a big deal. But you take 10 days off, 12 days off, 20 days off, you start to really notice this drop in capacity, which is, if any of you are weightlifters, you know this to be true. If you bench press and you get your bench press up to 200 pounds finally, or whatever your number might be, and then you take a week off, that 200 pounds is a lot heavier than it was when you were building it up, right? It just, you can build things up. It takes so much effort, but it's so easy for that to fall off and atrophy. And that's really what I'm trying to talk today about. And basically, there's other factors that go into this, whether we're all busy, we all have different things going on. But the main principle I want you guys to take away from this episode particularly is just consistency is key, right? Any kind of run is better than no run. Any kind of cardio is better than no cardio. And the other finding I thought was really interesting that they found from this study was that for every week that you are idle, when you don't run, you don't do any kind of cardio, whatever, it takes 3 weeks of work to get back to the level that you were at. 3 weeks of work. Now think about that. So you take 1 week off, 7 days, it takes 3 times as many days to get back to that level that you were at, not even to improve. And I noticed this with me. Like, if I take a week off, 2 weeks off, like I got to the point where it took more effort to do less of a performance than I could do before when I was consistent with it. So, even me, like the guy that has the running and fitness app, like I atrophy too. And the thing that happens too is, we get into this story where we're like, well, I've taken so much time off. How am I going to get back into this? Like, this is going to be so much work. Like, what if you take a month off? What if you take a year off? What if you've had years of doing no cardio, no type of fitness workout, nothing to take care of your body? It can seem like it's going to take me the rest of my life to get back to where I was. And that's not true. I think this study, I don't really know that the time frame of it as far as that's concerned, but for every week off, the 3 weeks back, that's if you're a regular workout, person. There's obviously transformations that have taken place in this world where people go from being 600 pounds down to 200 pounds in a year. So don't think that you're too far gone. You're never too far gone as far as atrophying goes to get back to where you were and even be better than you were. But there's two keys that you have to remember if you're going to dedicate yourself to this process of getting back into running shape, run another 5K, half marathon, or even a marathon, ultra marathon, whatever you want to do. You have to remember these two things. One is commitment. Like, it's just going to take commitment. It's going to take you being dedicated, being disciplined, and just being able to do the work that's required when you don't feel like it. And two, you're gonna have to execute patience. Like, you're just gonna have to realize, like, if you've taken so much time off and you can only run half a mile before you start puking on the ground, like, you know, that's okay. That's where you are. And you don't have to shame yourself. You don't have to guilt yourself for where you are, because you're taking the steps forward to go back to where you were. And especially a lot of us, like millennials, we want things now. We have to have these things now. You have to realize that it's patience. It doesn't happen overnight. This process of fixing this atrophy in your cardio, in whatever, is just, it's a process, right? And you don't have to just stick to running. I should be advocating for just run, but sometimes a HIIT workout can be just what you need. It can actually be more effective for building up your cardio rather than going for a jog and just half-assing it. Stairmasters, ellipticals, treadmill workout, like whatever you can do can contribute more to your actual cardio strength and your VO2 capacity, right? So if you're in this process where you've atrophied, you slacked off for a while, it's okay. It's okay. We've all been there. I'm there right now. Like, I'm getting back into that, right? So if you need some help, if you want just some inspiration, some challenge to get you kick-started, the RunWage app is the tool specifically built for that purpose. We have 2 new challenges starting at the end of September, a 2-week challenge, a 3-week challenge. They're very, very easy. They're straightforward, only cost $20 to enter, and it's getting back into this process of fixing that atrophy and just becoming better. So if you're interested, I'm actually going to take part in one of them, the Up and Running Challenge. Head over, if you haven't downloaded the RunWage app already, go to the App Store, go to Google Play Store, download the RunWage app. It's free to download. You can purchase the challenge. You can win your money back. You can get a prize for the one that we're doing. And this whole process is about building commitment again and having the patience to stick with the program, get accountable, get some leverage on yourself, and crawl yourself back out of this hole. This is what this app was built for. All right, my friends, so that's going to be it. If you haven't already, check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at RunWage. Comment below anything you got from this video or anything you can add to this if you really appreciated it. And download the app if you haven't already. Share it. We always have additional prizes and benefits for people that share the app. We have a tracking system for all that. So really, really appreciate you guys coming on here. Remember, commitment and patience, the 2 things you need to dig yourself out. All right, that's going to be it. Dan Hafner signing off. We'll talk to you guys next week.